Good evening. I'm reminded tonight of the spring of 1986. I was a young 18-year-old senior at the end of his high school career who, just 19 months earlier, had been taken from the comforts of his childhood residence in Libertyville, Illinois, a familiar setting, to close to extended family, deep friendships, and well-earned memories. To Marietta, Georgia, a suburb of Atlanta. And once there, I quickly built new friendships, faced new challenges, and continued my educational journey. I consider myself a good student, but like for many of you, it didn't come easy. I had to put in long, stressful, sleep-depriving hours to succeed. I also worried about choosing the college that best suited me and my then strong hope of becoming a research chemist, a worry that has since proven to be somewhat frivolous. But I made it to a day much like this, much like you all have. Of course, in late April and throughout the entire month of May, I, and many of the faculty members sitting among you tonight, wondered whether you'd get here. You see, there's a psychological transformation that takes place for many soon-to-be graduates at this time each year. I know you're aware of it. You've let us know in many different ways. Senioritis, a crippling disease that strikes the high school senior, caused by a dangerous combination of overassessment, diffused motivation, and a burning out of the soul. Symptoms include laziness and over-excessive wearing of old athletic shirts, sweatpants, athletic shorts, and sweatshirts. Also, a belief that you have everything figured out. A lack of studying, repeated absences, and a generally dismissive attitude. I and many others have been working very hard to connect with all of you this past month, teach you that one final lesson before you go. And you've told me, and I quote, "Delo, to be honest, I just don't care. I'm so done." Do you really expect us to read? And my favorite, most recently, "Dude, this sucks." Ugh, senioritis. As a teacher and a lover of learning, I don't know how to respond to that. In fact, I'm not quite sure why some of you think it's something I really want to hear. And funny, in the middle of dealing with all your newfound apathy, I receive an email from Mr. Erickson which states, "The seniors have spoken. The class of 2018 asked that you be the staff speaker for the 2018 MHS graduation at U.S. Bank." Yeah. Well, after reading this, I have to be honest, I immediately thought, what? Talk about mixed messages. So confusing. First, I'm wasting your time, but then you want to hear what I have to say. Parents, perhaps you can empathize with me here. Well, they say the only cure for senioritis is a phenomenon known as graduation. And here we are. I stand before you now as you sit in recovery, and I am humbled by your invitation to speak. All kidding aside, I know those feelings of just being done, that lack of desire to work hard, and that urge to run away from all of it. It's real, and it's natural. It might feel permanent right now, but I promise you it will fade away. When will it leave you? Perhaps tonight. Perhaps this summer. It certainly left me, and something else took its place. Well, it might be that I'm not being fair. In a recent conversation with some of you, my philosophy students, you shared with me that you might be experiencing a kind of grieving. We were reading and discussing Mitch Albom's Tuesdays with Morrie. Many of you may know that Morrie, a former college professor, suffered from ALS, and he taught his final lesson about how to live over a series of Tuesdays while he was dying. At one point, he told his former student, Mitch, sometimes in the mornings, that's when I mourn. I mourn what I've lost. It was then, you might remember, that I turned to you and asked, almost jokingly, I know this might seem ridiculous, seeing as how many of you can't wait to get out of here, but I do wonder, as this part of your life comes to a close, are you grieving? Are you mourning what you're losing? And most of you responded almost immediately, yes, you said. You shared your worries of loss, a loss of routine, of daily family traditions, of friendships, and even time spent with pets. You spoke of fears of having to be responsible, and I can empathize with you here. It is true that your lives to this point have been fairly defined. You've studied the disciplines of science, history, mathematics, the joys of literature and composition. You've examined the concept of relationships with family and friends. You come face to face with your own abilities, your potential, and your limitations. Parents, teachers, mentors, and friends have all been guides on this journey. You haven't always known where they were guiding you, but the basic truth is that they've been guiding you to this day. Put your trust in that. Like Morrie, allow yourself time to mourn, but then move forward. Paulo Coelho writes in his novel, The Alchemist, everything you need to know you've learned through your journey. You have the tools necessary. It's time to go put them to use. In his book, Walden, Henry David Thoreau concludes, I left the woods for as good a reason as I went there. Perhaps it seemed to me that I had several more lives to live. These words ring true tonight, and in many ways explain your recent anxiousness to move on. You've worked hard, put in long hours, and developed dreams for the future. You've achieved one success so that you can now start a journey to your next. Thoreau went on to share, I learned this, that if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with success unexpected in common hours. Tonight is also evident of that. But I ask you to consider this. Look not on tonight as an end or completion, but as one success or accomplishment that will be followed by many. You know, these past 4 years, I have not only served you as a teacher, but also as an announcer. In many ways, I'm a glorified cheerleader with a microphone, loudly recognizing your successes on the basketball court, the baseball field, and the football field. Each booming shout, Kayla Mershon for three! Or victory cry, that's the ball game, Skippers win, Skippers win. You know, they highlight a moment of achievement. But each of these moments does not mark an end. What follows is the defensive stance that fights off the next challenge, the following practice to prepare for your next opponent. As you walk across the stage tonight and receive your diplomas, relish the moment. But as you leave this building tonight to begin this next journey, realize you are huddling up, perhaps with family, new friends, and new ambitions, in order to take on this next set of downs. Hey, you know what? You know what I'm thinking? We are sitting here in U.S. Bank Stadium, after all. And bear with me, I am an English teacher, so I'm going to make this connection. In many ways, a first down in football is a metaphor for graduation. You've just earned a new set of downs in this journey we call life. Let me be an announcer one more time. Will you all join me in one final Minute Talk of First Down call? All right, here we go. And that's another Minute Talk of First Down. Congratulations. I'm extremely honored to be up here, and I do indeed wish you the very best moving forward, my friends. Thank you.